Aloha everyone, and welcome to another interview with Philipp von Holtzendorff of Leela Quantum Tech. This is part two of our original interview we did a week ago. And for those of you, the link will be in the description below for that part one. This is part two. We're going to pick up where we left off. And for those of you that are brand new, and this is the first video you've seen on Leela Quantum Tech, I do want to introduce Philipp. He is the owner and proprietor of Leela Labs, which is a C60 company producing C60 oil and C60 topical products. And then he's also now ventured off into this other adventure called Leela Quantum Tech. And so he's the owner proprietor of that. And so we've had an interview before talking about the general basis or the foundation of the energy and the products. And now we're going to pick up where we left off, which is talking about the different frequencies, the new frequencies that are being brought to market in this quantum tech space. Welcome, Philipp. Good morning. It's really early here in Hawaii. How are you doing today?
Hey, good to talk to you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's talk about, you brought a whole lot of new frequencies, which is what everyone's kind of like, okay, what does this one do? What does that one do? So let's talk about that. And I want to show people how to get to the frequencies on Philipp's new website. So it's LeelaQ.com. That's the website. And so if you go into the shop, and you go, it's page 2 as we just discovered. So if you go down to page 2, here's the frequency cards, and so and then you would then, if you want to know what each one of them does, you just click on them. But before I do that, I guess the first question is, Philipp, could you explain what somebody would do with one of these cards, just regardless of frequency? Like, how do you use a card? I think would be the good starting point.
Yeah, absolutely.
All you have is a card, but you don't have, just a card.
Yeah, so the card is very useful in multiple regards. First of all, it's a soft way of leveraging a frequency that's stored on these individual cards. So if it will be, first of all, good for someone that doesn't really want too much quantum energy, but really wants to leverage the frequency, and they can wear it in their pocket easily. So left pocket, right pocket, wherever, it doesn't really matter. And it can be leveraged at night in a very smart way underneath the pillow. So if there's a topic someone wants to work on, then for example, that could be done overnight while you're sleeping, and you're integrating and you're basically working with that frequency and working on something. We have several frequencies. One set of frequencies is really geared towards people that that are focused on inner development, and they want to move further. They want to develop, and there's certain things, as we peel the onion of ourselves, right, that we bump into, and then we provide some frequencies that help on that path. Another set of frequencies we created specifically for certain use cases. So that would be something like the sleep and rest card. Obviously has a very specific use case where you could leverage that. And then again, you can do that during the day by just wearing that card, or at night. And then on top of that, you have this pure frequency stored there. You'll always have it because it doesn't, go away. And you could also copy that frequency and leverage it in other ways. I don't think we can get into that right now and how that is done, but there's a video also on our YouTube channel that explains how you could do it even with a Leela Quantum Heal capsule. But there are also other ways on how to do it. That's just for advanced people that already know a little bit about all this stuff.
Okay. So the idea here is that these metal cards contain a frequency and a quantum energy, and then you just carry it on you. So like in your shirt pocket or under your, or near you in your back pocket, and it'll kind of like give your whole body that frequency. So it's like a whole body thing.
Exactly.
Okay. And then for people, put it under your pillow. Okay. So then I was reading in the chat, and there's a certain way to carry it. So I believe it's where the logo and the word Leela is. You want that facing the body when you carry these around. Is that?
Yeah, I personally don't care about that.
Oh, okay.
So for me, it really doesn't matter. But some people want, if they want a little bit more energy, then yes, use where you see the words written, have that facing the body. Absolutely. You can absolutely do that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just wanted, yeah, thanks for reminding me about your new YouTube channel. There's a brand new YouTube channel, Leela Quantum Tech channel. I'll put the link in description below. And so you're basically, Philip's been coming out with these little short videos to explain some of these products. So if you've got any questions, check the channel, go into Telegram, ask a question if you don't see the answer. But that's where you get more information. But I thought we could kind of walk through these, briefly. That's going to take a while. But just if you could kind of just chat about, like, okay, so we've got, I guess there's 4 different cards called heal. One is just the card. I guess that's humans, right? Because the other ones are for animals and plants. So the
Exactly.
heal frequency, can you kind of describe, like, what is the heal frequency, and what does it do for people?
Yes, and also just for people watching this right now, if you watch this in a while from today, you'll probably find
Click on it.
an explanation and further description of the individual frequencies for all of these frequencies.
Okay.
If you look right now,
Yeah, there's nothing
then
there.
you find it on maybe half of those, and we picked the ones that are not intuitive. So
Okay.
heal for cats, heal for dogs. We figured, okay, we will provide those definitions later than the other ones. It's just a lot of work, and it will be available soon. But yeah, so the heal card is indeed for humans, and it contains the primal human healing frequency, and it has an extension so that it actually also contains certain heal frequencies that were made available, or phrased differently, are now available here on Earth, that just occurred over the last 3 to 6 months. And as people may know, there's a constant flow of cosmic energies towards us, and then there's also Earth energies. People talk a lot about cosmic, but there's really, the Earth releases frequencies all the time, and it comes up with new frequencies. And it really is the case that there are new frequencies that are coming at us, and most of those we can really leverage. And so among those, there were several healing frequencies that we picked up, and they're also included here. So then, in addition to that, we loaded the so-called biobase frequency set on it as well. It's actually on the bottom here. You can see the nutritional biobase card. It's a set of almost 100 different vitamins, minerals, and organic plant extracts, and the full list of everything that's included you can find here. Why did we load that onto the heel? It's because it works very, very well in concert. And by the way, this set here that you're seeing here right now, that was developed over a 30-year period by a bunch of researchers that really checked over 30 years, okay, what's the optimal mix of vitamins, minerals, and plant extracts for the human body? And yeah, I'm sure there are lots of different opinions and lots of great scientists. We went with the ones that we found to be the best from what we had experienced in our lives so far. And then we tested this, and we tested several other ones, and this came out to be the best in those tests. And there's a third frequency included in the heal card, or in the heal frequency. That's the primal healing water frequency, which is basically the source of the original healing water springs that you had on Earth. Some of those do not exist anymore. Others have actually moved, and then again, others are pretty occupied because they've been misused. So I mentioned Lourdes in France, for example. That is without a doubt one of those old heal water springs, but it's not what it used to be anymore. And I mean, we don't have to really go into all the details, but there's Catholic Church and others that have worked with that source quite a bit. And if you go there now and check out that water, it's not what it used to be. So we went straight to the stores to actually have really the best water matrix that you can find.
Okay. So yeah, I didn't realize what you, okay, so I actually watched your video, but I didn't realize what you just said was the heal card, just the plain old heal card. This guy right here is the primal healing water card plus the nutritional biobase card plus the heal frequency all in one place. All in one.
Correct.
Kind of like a super card. Oh wow. Okay, that's cool.
Yes. And so the heal frequency that's in there and the way this heal frequency set is composed now, it can be leveraged also for other living beings like dogs, cats, whether horses or what have you. But in concert now, and it would also work with that water frequency, of course, very well. But if you add the biobase frequency to it, then you could still, have your, animals participate from it. But it's the biobase mix is specifically geared towards humans,
Okay.
and humans are different, and they are in need of different vitamin and mineral needs. Their body's completely different. So we figured we need to create something that is specifically for dogs and also for cats, as well as for plants, right? So, long story short, there's a specific heal frequency and heal frequency set for dogs and for cats, and actually for the plants, there's another specific earth frequency that helps the plants. And by the way, I'll send you a picture later of this one plant that what I'm talking about. And that had issues again. And then we put this heal card for plants right on the roots, and it's done amazing things.
So so the heal for humans has that primal human healing frequency, right? And then you've swapped that out so that, and then also the nutritional stuff, so that it's now you've got a primal canine frequency plus earth frequency plus nutritional stuff for dogs. Is that what the dogs and card is?
Yeah, for dogs, it's exactly it's the heal frequency for dogs, and it basically looks at the organism and the body and the physiological system of a dog, and what it needs to come into its optimal state and to be reminded to also heal itself, right? And that's pretty much the same thing for cats, but then again, cats are a little bit different from dogs, and then plants are something again completely different, right? So that's why there are individual frequencies for that.
Okay, so quick question. How does someone who just gets a card for their dog use it with their dog? Would they like put it under the water bowl so that the water they're drinking all the time is charged with this frequency, or would they, other than you can go and buy the collar, right? There's a Leela Quantum collar that has that frequency in it for dogs. Do you have
that's
collars
a great question.
or just dogs?
We do not yet, but we've had a couple of people ask already, so I think that's one of the things we'll add for sure. And we wanted to expand in this space anyway, because this is just a start to have collars, but there are other things, and I guess you had some ideas as well. But for now, so and therefore it's a great question. So the card, obviously you couldn't just put it around the dog's collar to hang down at, that wouldn't really work. So what you do is you can either put it underneath the bowl, indeed, and then you constantly have the frequency transmission there. Another way is really for the night. If you know where your dog or your cat, where they sleep, that will be a great way to place this card, and it will not at all affect their sleep in a negative way, just in a positive way, because again, the energy is fairly soft. And they'll have this frequency, and then they can start leveraging it.
Ah, okay. All right. Yeah, I was kind of wondering how a card would work with an animal, but that makes sense. Okay. All right, that's great. So then the plant one is one that's geared just for plants. Okay, so let's talk about the next ones here. Well, the men's and women's boosters is something. Well, I can talk about that one. I made a couple of videos about this. If you want to watch the videos, you can better understand what these are. But they're geared for um, middle-aged individuals that really will focus on the things that are the prevalent issues of our age, which is basically we need help with our brains, memory retention and cognitive reasoning and all that. So there's a brain booster in there. There's an immune booster to help boost up your immune system. There's a thing for stress relief that helps you manage your stress. And then there's one for anti-aging. And so what I did was and then there's a fifth one. And in the men's one, it's testosterone boosters. And in the woman's one, it's a combination of different things for women that they're worried about and that they are concerned about as they age, which is everything from bone health, nails, their nails, their skin, their hair, their eyes, their veins, all these things that women are worried about, especially hormone regulation. So the woman's booster has this one booster in it that I call Wahine for women. It's a Hawaiian word for women, and then the men's one is testosterone. But that's what that frequency set is. So for the men's, it's really, and I think it's pretty powerful because it really helps older folks and it kind of boosts you. And it's different than the nutritional biobase, which Philip, if you would agree, the nutritional biobase is a frequency set for your just wellness, your just day-to-day health, right? This is what your body needs to just be healthy and well, but these other ones here actually have supplements that you don't normally would buy, anti-aging supplements and testosterone boosting supplements and stress relieving supplements. So there's all these extra supplements in there. So that's what these two are designed to do. So and then we'll jump into this one here. The EMF protection and harmonization. Can you talk about that one? Like, okay, I guess you have a description on this guy. No, there's no description yet. By the way, yeah, like Philip said, there'll be descriptions when you click on these. They just haven't, the website designer hasn't gotten to it yet. But so how's this one work? And we're going to talk about the test results, but could you describe it?
Yeah, and the reason why we didn't prioritize the description of this one is because it's relatively self-explanatory, at least what it does, okay. Right? It protects in regards to EMF, and it harmonizes EMF. So quantum energy in general already helps quite a bit with that. And, I have a pretty unique perspective on EMF because I know that we don't have to be bothered by EMF, frankly. Now people may wonder, so why do you sell and offer a lot of EMF protection products? Well, the reason is that for that to work, that we don't need to be bothered at all by any EMF, and which includes 5G and anything else, is we will really have to unlock a lot of our consciousness and to be aware how we can deal with that. And then we can just, with our own capability, we can basically neutralize and harmonize it all ourselves, right? That is the ultimate state. And that's also where we want everybody to be, because all of these cards and frequencies are designed specifically to not be a constant substitute for something or use it as a drug or something. They're all designed in a way where the body and the human system, or a dog for that matter, if you have apply the Heal for Dogs card, they learn over time how to do it themselves. So it's kind of you also learn it, right? That's for us. This is the thing, right? We want people to be completely independent and self-dependent, and we know, and we tell people that they can do all these things themselves. It's just obviously, 99.9% of the people are still struggling to do that, or a lot of people are still at a point where they don't even understand that something like frequencies exists, even though they are frequency themselves, right? So there are lots of different states of where people are, but then there are people that totally get that, but they can't activate the inner healer on their own, for example. And so then if you work with these frequencies, you relearn that, and then you can kind of teach yourself with it also, right? Then wear it for a week, then take it off for a couple of days, then see if you already kind of get into this feeling again yourself, and maybe you need 2-3 months for it. Maybe you need a year, maybe you need a few weeks. It really is completely individual, but all these cards are designed for that. And for the EMF protection and harmonization card, it's really for people that are very concerned about it or that are extremely sensitive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one thing with EMF protection frequencies is actually really that typically they can protect, but they don't do the body any good at the same time, which is then kind of a waste, right? Because you don't want to stress your body at the same time where you're protecting it. And that was actually quite an effort. We worked with 2 healers together on this one, and then found a way where it basically it helps the body to create this field where, picture this, the outside of your body, all these EMF frequencies are neutralized and harmonized, right? So nothing enters your system that that is harmful or bothering in any way, but at the same time, it's totally soothing to the human body and feels natural, and it's not that there's an impact from the frequency itself. And that is what we've done. So I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Okay. So, and this is all frequency based. So I just want to point out for, because there's a whole EMF protection industry that's around brute force shielding, right? Like, like paints and Faraday cages and things like that. I've actually done a couple of videos on how to protect your home, how to, protect yourself from your cell phone, but that's brute force shielding. This is EMF frequency mitigation, right? So there's definitely a separation there, and this one is all about how your body responds to EMF and then protecting it that way, as opposed to literally shielding the RF signals coming into your house. So just want to clarify, right? Yeah. Okay, because people get confused because people are thinking, oh yeah, I'll buy a sticker for my phone and that'll protect me, and be like, no, not really. If it's not an actual RF shield, no, or if it's not like a frequency product that's like been proven, like this one has, the answer is probably not. So yeah. Okay, so we talked about the healing water card. What is prosperity? Okay. So this one's got this one has a definition or a description, but could you kind of just summarize, like, what is prosperity? What's that frequency set?
Yeah, so it basically also has a certain use case, right? So if you want to invite more prosperity in your life and be more in tune with the money flow, that is a frequency that helps with that. And so we had thought about this quite a bit, but it's because prosperity and also money, they're often associated in a negative way, right? So there are even a lot of spiritual people running around on earth that are saying, oh, now I don't want any money, never want, money's bad and all that. No, that's not the right approach, frankly, and that has nothing to do with balance. That's rather that there's something then missing. And money is nothing else but energy, right? It's nothing else. And we often have certain blockages towards it, or belief systems that can go either way, right? There's often what you would find is there's this, oh my God, I have to get money. It's the number one thing I have to do and I have to get, and there's no satisfaction in life if you don't get the next dollar and all that. So that is certainly completely unhealthy, right? It helps balances that out, but it even more so works on blockages that we have, or belief systems that that we're not worthy of it. The not being worthy is actually something that you would find in most all humans, and it's interesting in one or in various stages, and but it's somewhere within ourselves. Probably everybody could feel something where we feel we're not worthy of this or worthy of that, and so the frequency really works on balancing all that out and to get us in tune with the money flow, with our own worth, and that we can invite that in without having to wanting it or anything, just creating it, just being able to create wealth or prosperity in a nice flow. That's basically what this frequency helps with. And it's a frequency that, hopefully by using it and leveraging it, you kind of relearn how you can naturally do that.
Wow, amazing. Yeah, prosperity and money are two separate things. uh, some of the happiest people I know are not the wealthiest, but yeah. Okay. That's interesting. Now this Anji power, this is
And
obviously,
but it's specifically really focused on
oh,
prosperity and money flow in that sense.
uh-huh.
This is not an abundance card, because we also have an abundance card that you don't find here yet. And abundance goes even further, because that is really abundance in all areas of your life. This is a so-called, like, it's specific. It really is specific.
Huh, okay. Good to know. That's interesting. I gotta try that, see what that's like. Okay. Now the Anji power card, and that's named after your one of your individuals in the healer network, right? Uh,
Yes,
yeah.
Agni.
And let's see, we'll pop that up. This is Anji right here, right there. Anji Frank Eichermann, right? And he's one of your like, I guess one of your professional healers, has been doing it forever. So he's got a power card. What would that look like? I mean, what is
Yeah,
how?
so
Yeah, what does it do? It says stimulates your heart chakra.
it stimulates your heart chakra, basically to activate the love, to bring it to work as a transformative force in your life. And we kept this one short because the essence is really in this one sentence. That's what it does. So if people can feel or see energies, if you hold that card, you'll immediately notice that, and people can easily muscle test that, for example, and see what it does to the heart chakra if you wear this card. And it's, the picture how I would describe this is, we live in a world where most people do something that we kind of need to do, or we do it because it's kind of the thing that you do. But we as a society, as a human race, we're moving towards a new age, really, where we can create and should create out of ourselves, and where we should do things out of ourselves, and it comes kind of out of the inner of our heart, if you will. And often that part is just not activated enough, not expanded enough, and we don't really focus on it and feel it even anymore. That's why we just do stuff because it's asked of us, or it's the normal thing to do here in the world. It helps with us opening the doors again of, okay, what's within us? What do we want to do? And then come from there, live your life from there. And it helps with that. And that's definitely a card that one can leverage for many, many years.
Okay. As we go through these, and let's take a look at Unity. I'm just wondering if, like people come to your site, and first of all, once they kind of figure out what's going on, and then depending on where they're at in their life, and what their challenges are, or what their goals are and their dreams, do you have anything that kind of helps them choose the right frequency set for where they are at in their life right at that moment? Or is it, yeah, I'm just kind of wondering, because like there's so many choices here. I'm just wondering, how do you help people decide, like, oh, the heal obviously is sounds awesome, from all the different things that it could do, versus, the power card. And I'm kind of wondering, like, where do they overlap, and how would you, like, tactically use each one of these for the thing that you want it for, you have
Yep.
any thoughts on that? And then we'll get into the Unity one.
Yeah, I think it's a great question. So I think what we'll introduce here is a chat function on the website, and then I think that will be something, if
Huh?
someone feels uncertain and they know they want to work on something and they don't really know, and then they could ask in the chat, or send a message and ask. I think that will be a good way. Other than that, it's really at this point hard to handle for us to advise everyone individually, but in the quantum power group, for example, if people ask me there or find me there and then send me a direct message, I'm happy to help and look and help guide in this regard for sure. And other than that, we'll have these descriptions here. And as I said initially, it's two different frequency sets, if you will. One is really for very specific use cases, like the sleep and rest card. It's very clear.
Right. Yeah, the EMF is clear, and some of them are really clear, like they have a very targeted use. So that
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that something like the Unity card isn't something for someone that doesn't really bother about inner development or spiritual path or any of this, and really just right now has sleep problems, right? I just want to get rid of that. So that's different then. And so the Unity card is one of those cards really for the latter people that are just mentioned. And so we're, as a human race, again, we're moving towards unity, and we have unity within us. But if you look everywhere, everything you perceive is polar, right?
Yeah.
But
by design.
yeah, exactly. And but it's also because we let that happen, right? So it's I don't want to point fingers at all, because it's really on us. We can point fingers on us, and we have the power to change it, and we can't change it for the world, but we can change it for ourselves, and then that's the first step, right? And so if you go into meditation, for example, I mean, you don't meditate to then be more polar afterwards, right? And to be it's you meditate because you want to feel this unity, to get closer to that, and this feeling of unity, this expansion of the unity within ourselves, also making meditation easier, for example. That's what this card is about in a nutshell. We have written a lot more here on the page that you can read through.
So we got to talk about how to broadcast this around the planet. I've been actually looking in with one of the guys on the chat. We're trying to figure out, how do you take something like this frequency and then broadcast it, over a whole city or something, just because our society needs this so bad right now. Quantum field broadcasting, it actually is a thing. So unity is to kind of lessen or mitigate the polarity of the world. And in your own home, right, you could have between you and your spouse, you and your kids, this would be a good frequency to have in the home, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Now the Leela card is the last one that's it's not like, okay, what is that? What does that one do? That's clear. So how would you best describe this one?
Yeah, it definitely carries aspects of the unity frequency. But then it also specifically helps find more ease and lightness in everything that we do, right? So often we take life so serious, and I mean, there are a lot of serious things that are going on, and that a lot of serious things that we're always personally confronted with in a way. But it really helps to find the space again where we can see that it's all a game, right? And that's how Roman also calls it, right? For him, all of this is just a game, and we're players, right? Creators and players on this big field here. And if we lose the ability to see that and to get into this playfulness, we also lose a lot of joy and happiness in the life. So to stimulate that flow and to help remember that we're here to also explore things and to be curious and to find joy in what we do, this is what this card helps with.
Okay, so very different specifics, but okay, yeah, it is. Right off the bat, I mean, I can see where they're very specifically geared. And for those of you that have something going on in your life, whether it's loss, divorce, whatever, and if you have real questions and you can't figure it out, then jump on the Telegram and ask away. We've got there's a new quantum power group on Telegram, link below, which ties to the website here. But okay, so that's great. Any other things you want to add about frequencies? And then we'll get into the testing. That was very
Yeah,
helpful.
I think for now we've covered it. We have more to come. So we already have a few in the pipeline, but for now we also didn't want to overwhelm the community. And I think there's a good set. And again, ask your questions in the chat and also in the Quantum Powered channel on YouTube. We'll cover a little bit more. And by the way, just one word for that. It's supposed to be not just about Leela Quantum Tech products right now. It's just because we're starting this channel, but there's going to be a whole variety of topics and people involved in that regard.
Yeah, it'd be really cool to do interviews of your healer network. Not me, but you guys doing it on your YouTube channel, just to hear what these other folks think and say, and because just kind of like introduce your healer network. That would be really kind of cool. Little 10-minute snippets about these incredible people. Oh, that
sounds great.
Sorry, that just popped in my mind. I have ideas popping in my head constantly. All right, one card we didn't talk about is this neutral energy card. So what would you do with first of all, it's just a card that you charged with just neutral energy, right? So what would you do with the neutral energy card? If we left that one off.
Yeah, so I mean, if you don't want to work with a specific frequency and you just want to get a little boost of that, and some people, it's definitely not the majority, but some people are very, very sensitive to energy, and if they wanted to just have a little bit more quantum energy available to them and get used to it and work with it, that's what this card is for. By itself already, it provides benefit because quantum energy is positive, quote and say positive, right? It's helpful and supportive, but it's neutral. So yeah, whoever feels drawn to that, definitely try that.
Okay, awesome. That's very helpful, really helpful. Thank you again.
Thank you, Kay, and thanks everybody for watching. And yeah, if you're interested, take a look and be engaged, talk about it. If you have questions, feel free to reach out anytime.
Yep. And so again, the website is LeelaQ.com. So LeelaQ.com. And then we also are on Telegram, or Philip's on Telegram with a Quantum Power group. Is it called Group?
Quantum Power Group. Yeah.
For all things quantum energy, and look for a lot more to come on that Telegram group. All right. Well, thank you very much, everyone, and have a good day. Thank you, Philip.
Thank you.